Now, Cenk Uyger, he's the founder and host of The Young Turks, where he's talked about defense spending for over a decade now. Thanks so much for coming on. So this is the tweet that you sent. It's very controversial. Let's put it up here. Hey, Elon Musk, put me in charge of the Pentagon. I'll slash $400 billion easy. That'll get you 20% to your goal of $2 trillion right out of the gate. I went to Wharton 3 years before you. I own a media company, so I know how to run a business. If you really want to cut, put me in coach. Elon Musk actually responded and said, specific suggestions are welcome. What is the problem?
Yeah, I can't imagine what the problem is. What I'm telling the left is take the win. It's not that complicated. So they say, well, look, they're not really going to do it. Well, then if they don't do it, then we'll call them out on it. Again, where's the problem? Oh, they were actually going to cut Medicare and Medicaid. That's probably true, and it's very likely, and we'll fight them on that. But why would we fight them on a thing we agree on? So we've been wanting to cut the Pentagon for decades on the left. And there's a reason for that, too. It's because that is where the biggest fraud and abuse are. Because anytime you go to cut the Pentagon, they go, oh, you're going to endanger national security. Oh, my God, all of our lives are going to be lost if you cut it by $1. That's why they stuff all the pork in the Pentagon. If they're going to cut, they got to cut at the Pentagon. And now we're having a conversation. And by the way, Marjorie Taylor Greene today, when talking about how she's going to head up the Doge committee in the House, said one of the first places to cut is the Pentagon. The rest of the left, please take the win.
Do you think it's just, hey, we can't even entertain a conversation with Elon Musk or the Donald Trump administration? Do you think that this is he just won the election. Is there a lesson that has to be learned right now? Do you think it's just we can't even look like we're cooperating whatsoever?
Yeah, that's a lot of it, and there's a lot of spite out there, but I just can't understand the logic of it. If they do something wrong, you call them out. If they do something right, you give them credit. It's just common sense. And guys, there's another element to it. I had run the largest online network, period, but certainly the largest on the left, and no one would dispute that. And a Democratic leader has never asked me, hey, any suggestions? Hey, we'd like to cut the Pentagon. I mean, when's the last time a Democratic leader said that? And, oh, my God, we'd like to talk to our base and find out how we can cut the Pentagon. And by the way, when Elon asked, I gave him a suggestion of why don't we ban conflict of interest that the generals have. Don't let them go to defense contractors after they retire, because
Don Jr. agreed with you on that. Don Jr. agreed with you on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. And look, I reached out. I said, if you guys are genuine about this, let's actually do this. As you see, I've got the tweet up there. I said they authorize so much wasteful spending because they're going to get hired by those same companies. And Don Jr. said, this is a great idea that has been discussed.
So let me ask you this.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it's great that they're on the same page. Now let me ask you this. Do you think they're going to follow through on it once they, starting in January?
So what's great about this is they're now on the record on it. They say it's a great idea, and they're already discussing it. So if they, and by the way, what's also terrific about this, and what a lot of the left wing doesn't yet see, and they often yell at me for seeing things a little bit earlier, including Joe Biden being way too old and not being the candidate. So in this case, well, if they're on the record and Marjorie Taylor Greene is talking about it, Elon Musk is talking about it, and Donald Trump Jr. is talking about it, the thing that they're not seeing is the reason why. It's because there is now genuine right-wing populists, and they actually are anti-war, and they actually do want to cut wasteful spending, including from the Pentagon, and they hate those conflicts of interest that we hate, and they don't like that the government officials then funnel money to the companies they're going to work with. So that's what we've been looking forward to for so long, an actual populist movement, especially joined by both sides. So in a situation like that, if they don't do it, not only will the left wing call them out, but I believe that a lot of the right wing populists will call them out for not doing it, especially after they said it was such a good idea.
You might be 100% right. It's kind of refreshing to see a little bit of common ground. Sorry you're taking heat for this, but Cenk, thanks so much for coming on. Appreciate it.
No problem. Anytime.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your screen. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.